A couple of big ones for us to go out today. The potential for 2024 to be a record year of illegal channel crossings. We also have a story about a Sudanese ISIS fanatic being granted safe haven in this country for his human rights. Let's start with the channel first. Do you think that despite everything that the government is trying to do at the moment, we are shaping up for a record year next year in the channel?
Numbers will be high, higher than this year, I would think so. A lot of that this year has been due to the weather. The government's policies as a deterrent, the Rwanda plan, is just not working. The key is to catch the gangs. In every single report we've just heard in the past, like 5-10 minutes, the word people smugglers has been used, but nothing has been used by politicians to say we're going to catch the people smugglers or deter them. So it's really the people smugglers who need to be deterred, who have to realise there's no longer a buck to be made out of this. You know what, we need to look at something else. But until people smuggling earns more money than drug smuggling, these people aren't going to stop.
Now, on the case of this suspected jihadi who's been granted asylum in this country, he's been allowed to stay here. This is after 3 judges at a court called the Special Immigration Appeals Commission. They made this ruling against the Home Office. Now, we often criticise the Home Office. They've been wanting to deport this man for a long time, since 2018. We often criticise the Home Office for not making deportations. But when they come against judges who rule in the suspected jihadi's favour, then there's not that much they can do, is there?
Well, whatever you have to do, it has to be within the remits of the law. So it has to be that. That's whether you fire an employee, whether you deport someone, how you drive your car. And if British courts and British judges are deciding, well, hold on, this is going to break law to send this guy back, and judges obviously weigh everything on the balance of evidence and not opinion. And evidence doesn't care about what the opinion is of somebody. So what it looks at. But
Harjap, the security services. The security services have said he could be a threat. I mean, the Home Office have been trying to deport him since 2018. He's been travelling back and forth between Sudan and this country, according to reports. I mean, if the Home Office can't get a man like that deported, what hope do we have?
Well, there's plenty of ways the Home Office can deal with this. They can detain him at any time. They can keep him inside. They can keep him on a watch. We do the same with IRA terrorists who are currently housed in the UK, currently in jails in the UK. We've been doing it for a long time. Britain has been dealing with this. There's a system and a whole way to deal with this with terrorists. And also, if they suspect he's involved in terrorist activities, they can stop him from re-entering again and detain him on entry. They can have Interpol watch him. There's a lot of stuff that can be done. Obviously, once they have the proof, then they can go again to try and deport him again. It's not as if they could. This is a one-off and they can never try it again.
I mean, you've got MI5. You've got MI5 saying this guy poses a threat. You've got the fact that we know that he's been distributing jihadi propaganda, calling for jihad against the West. He
was stripped of his passport back in 2018.
He's entered Britain illegally twice. I mean, it just makes the mind absolutely boggle. I can't help but wonder how long it is before one of these individuals does do something deplorable on the streets, and then everyone ends up, frankly, blaming the judges.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a risk when you don't monitor people correctly. And we heard in your report before that the system in Europe is broken down, especially patrolling the borders. They don't have enough staff, and every country is now looking at trying to deter migrants. What every country needs to do is band together. I mean, what European countries need to do is band together and deal with this as a sort of across Europe problem until the divides remain, the political ideology divides remain, and until the fact that the resources aren't pulled together. This is going to continue. People smugglers will take advantage of sending people back. There are people that have been deported and been sent back 3 or 4 times, like you said, and have managed to get back in again. That is a lapse of security services. That is not a lapse of anyone else. That's not the fault of a judge. That's not the fault of a lawyer. That's not the fault of a policeman. That's the fault of the security services, that you're not tracking someone, you're letting them go and come back in. We've heard over this Christmas period, people are going back for Christmas, right, to celebrate their holidays, right? But whose fault is that? Who's supposed to monitor that? The Home Office and the security services. Let's hope that they can give the service that they're paid to do, and in 2024, and keep this country safe and monitor people who are potentially a threat to the UK.
Well, Harjap, thank you very, very much, as ever, and I hope you have a cracking 2024. No doubt I'll be seeing a heck of a lot of you. Harjap Singh Bhangal, immigration lawyer.
Thank you.
This is the kind of example that will be rolled out for years to come about the returning ISIS jihadi fanatic who has entered Britain illegally twice, been known to be trying to call for jihad against us, etc. We couldn't deport him just in case he faces torture or persecution in Sudan, despite him taking multiple trips back to Sudan. This is the pin-up case for years to come. I am convinced of it. But